See what happens when a military vet discovers the world of podcasting in an all new. Wait. Hey, sound guy. Did I read this right? They're giving military vet his own podcast show? Now, who in the world thought that was. You're still recording, aren't you? Oh, edit that out. See what happens when a military vet discovers the whole new world of podcasting in an all new The Birdman Show. For real, Cletus, edit that out, man. I need his job. Yo, what's up, everybody? How we doing? It's your boy. It's the Birdman. You already know it's the Birdman Show. Go ahead and do it with me one time. That's right. I am your host, the Birdman. You already know what I do. You already know when I come to the show, I never come alone, and I'm always bringing the big guns. I got my boy Big Sam. I got my boy Ace, and we are joined by a special guest, Matthew Price. Gentlemen, how are we doing today? Big Sam, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Doing good tonight.
Ready
Doing
to get to
good.
it.
That's what's up. Ace, how you doing?
So you know me, I'm always popping.
Ace always popping. Hey, Mother Strong, how you doing? I see you're here on Facebook Live. For those who are here joining us on Riverside .fm, we are also doing a Facebook Live event. I'm here. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be all over the place. And with this episode that we're doing, this topic, I'm definitely going to be all over the place anyways, because this episode, we talk about my cousins. All right, we're talking about my family. We're talking about the Simpsons. Okay, we're talking about the Simpsons. Of course, the cartoon. I'm not really talking about my family. We're talking about the Simpsons, and their predictions over the years. Now, unfortunately for Facebook, you're not going to be able to hear this part for Riverside. Big Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because we had the pleasure of having your wife on, Brittany. We had her on when we did the Mandela Effect, and it was a great episode. Actually, it was a two-parter, so 2 episodes. It was great. It was fun. We enjoyed having her on there, and we ended up getting you on here. And we're probably gonna have you back when we talk about the JFK conspiracy and some of these presidents' assassinations conspiracies. So be ready for that. But how are you doing, man? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm doing good, man. Like you said, I am Brittany's husband. We've been married about a year and 4 months or so now, and 3 months. A year and 3 months. But yeah, I'm just an auto tech. I play guitar and just a laid back guy, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get together about the guitar thing because, like I said, I want to take lessons. I want to learn, and I think it'd be fun to be able
I
to do
was
that.
playing before we started this.
Oh, good God, man, you're killing me, man. You're killing me, God, you're killing me, Haas. Anyways, woo, gentlemen. Okay, we got to get into it. But before we do that, for those who follow me on Facebook Live, and I'm gonna talk to you guys now, and for those on Riverside .fm, I had a special announcement I wanted to make. Fortunately, once again, Facebook fam, you're not gonna be able to see this one, but you bet you could go back, check us out on our YouTube channel at Birdman Show Podcast 9643. And you'll be able to see this part. But for the Riverside.fm fam, I had a special announcement I wanted to make. I wanted to share a special project. Like I said, I had a wonderful artist render me a new logo. And so for the first time, we are going to be sharing that logo right now. And I'm going to pull that up on the screen. Bada boom, bada bing. There is the new logo. Okay. I don't know why I did that. Give me a sec. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. So there we go. There we go. So this is the new logo. This is going to be the Birdman Show logo. Yes, I am retiring the baby picture, unfortunately, but at the same time, I wanted to do something and have something done that looked the part, looked a little bit more professional. I gave and Carrie, which is Mama Bear, Ace's lovely companion, who was the one who actually did this for me. I gave her absolutely positively no direction whatsoever. I just said I wanted a new logo for the show. And she did a phenomenal job with this. Facebook, I wish you could see this. You'll be able to see it because I'll be posting it on my Facebook page afterwards. So it is what it is. But it's phenomenal. Ace, why don't you talk to us a little bit about this one?
Do what? I totally clapped over what you said.
Yes, I know that. Yes, I know that. Anyways, why don't you talk to us a little bit about this one? Because I know Mom Bear is probably not going to want to get on live.
She said no.
Yes, I heard her.
Yeah, she had a vision, and I just love seeing her visions come to life, and to have you put that in a neon sign.
Yeah.
That is fucking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sister. I am so sorry. I was told that I needed to watch my language tonight, so I'm going to try my best.
Now I will say this before you finish. Before you finish, I'll say this because I want to give a shout out to orantneon.com. They were the ones that I had sent the image to, and they were the ones that created this mock-up for the neon sign. And like I said, I absolutely love it. I'm definitely going to have to try to get this thing. It's $350. So anybody out there on Facebook land and Riverside.fm, if you want to help a brother out and make a donation, please go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Birdman Show. Or if you want my Cash App, just hit me up with a private message. Anyways, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. I had to put that out there. But orantneon.com, they did a phenomenal job. Ace, please continue.
I'm guessing we're going to have an echo again this week. But it happened when I unmuted. Well, thanks, Brett. Blame it all on me. But she just went to town on this. And for those that are on Facebook, please go to the YouTube page and check this out because she did a phenomenal job on this artwork. And
actually, I'm gonna try to keep talking. I'm gonna try to show Facebook. I'm gonna try to show Facebook land this.
Okay, it's not just the fact that he's got it set up as a neon sign. Ooh, that looks even better there.
Yes, right. I know it looks phenomenal.
Wow. But it's not just the fact that it's the new logo of the show and that he's going to make a neon sign out of it. We also have T-shirts available.
Yes, we do. There is a link.
I've got the link. I sent the link to Birdman. He's going to be putting that out on his page. We will add it to the family page. I will also be making a video on it to post on TikTok. If there's anybody on Facebook or anybody listening to the live audio of this on the
Facebook.
No, not Facebook.
YouTube?
Not YouTube.
Riverside?
No. Where else did
Spotify.
I'm totally having a brain fart.
Spotify.
Thank
Come on,
you,
Spotify?
Matthew. Spotify.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, there it is. Mama Bear, she's the one that did it, and as always, I'm very proud of her.
Yeah, she did a phenomenal job. I just absolutely like I've just been obsessed with it. It's my screensaver on my desktop. It's my screensaver on my laptop. It's my screensaver on my TV. I absolutely freaking love it. It's just an awesome job. And the original she did was, I mean, it's just awesome. And then, like I said, like Ace was just talking about with the neon sign, when and I was just throwing it out there, just kind of see blah blah blah. And when they sent it back and they showed me this, and I was like, oh wow, what in the? I said that is beautiful. And they did a phenomenal job with it, as far as making it pop like they did. It's just, yeah, I just love it. I do. I absolutely love it. So Carrie, thank you very much once again. That is just it's just a beautiful, beautiful job, and I can't wait to make sure that that bad boy is hanging up somewhere, and we're doing a thing. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a Actually, no. Let's go ahead and get into the show. I was going to take a quick commercial break because we talked a little bit about some things, but we're only about 10 and a half minutes in. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, for those out here in Facebook land, for those watching on Riverside.fm in our live studio, once again, thank you all for joining us. But what we're doing on this episode is we're talking about The Simpsons. Um, like I said, my fam, me and Bart, we grew up together. Well, I grew up; he's still a kid. But well,
Second,
that's I
just a
guess
second.
depends on who you ask.
I know there's going to be an echo here, but you also have to make the announcement that they are your cousins that have a severe case of jaundice.
Yes, they do have a. They did. They. I don't know if it was. I think it was a part of the country they grew up in. It was something in the water, and it just like And plus, I don't think they eat enough red meat. Anyways, I digress. But anyways, yeah. So we're talking about the Simpsons, and we're in particularly talking about their predictions on the Simpsons show that have came true over the year. Just some of the outrageous predictions that have happened. Um, Now, what I've got right now, I've got like a list of 25. I know my co-hosts; they have their own list. I'm pretty sure a lot of these things we're going to do are going to be synced up. So what we're going to do is, um, we'll start, Matt, since this was your baby. This is your idea. This episode, and for those who don't know, on Riverside and Facebook, what I like to do is, um, every Thursday, right now, every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. If you're not on TikTok, get on TikTok. But every Thursday night, 6 p.m. Central Time, we do a Q&A. We do an episode recap. And what we do is we talk about the previous episode, and then after we get done with doing that, answering questions about it, then what we do is we like to ask the members, hey, what kind of episodes would you like to hear us talk about next? And that's what happened with the Mandela Effect. Brittany gave that one to us. That's what happened with the what was that? Andrea Yates. Angela gave that to us. Matt gave us the Simpsons predictions as well as JFK assassination, and that kind of sparked off presidential assassinations over the years. So that's going to be another one we're going to talk about. So I like to be able to bring that person who suggested that topic on the show if they're willing to. I don't want to force anybody to come on the air if they don't want to do it. I understand that not everybody's comfortable with doing this, but Matt was definitely comfortable with doing this, so I'm very pleased to have him on here. So Matt, I'm going to have you kick us off with this, and why don't you tell us, number one, what fascinated you about this, other than the obvious? What fascinated you about doing this topic? And then once you give us that, go ahead and give us your first Simpson prediction. Okay.
Okay, well, one of the first things that interested me about it was I'm always into the conspiracy type thing, like you brought up JFK and stuff like that. Anything
Mhm.
that has to do with not knowing the answer
Right.
intrigues me to want to learn as much as I possibly can about that subject. like when there's no end to the rabbit hole, like nobody can
Mhm.
have one right answer to the equation or whatever.
Right.
And I would say the Simpsons predictions are up there on that list, I would say.
Well, I'm right there with you. You you and I both were, we're like kindred spirits. Yeah, we're definitely brothers from different mothers. And this fact is, I love the conspiracy theory thing too. And some people are like, well, you like it because you were in the military and this is not. No, it's not because I was in the military. Although you hear a lot more when you're in the military, and you even see a lot more. But I love them just because they're just. It helps. It makes you think, and it makes you wonder um, about something. It makes you like, hey, wait a minute. Did really? I wonder if that could have happened. That's like the whole thing with the Mandela effect. Um, it's just, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm right there with you on this. And this, I was so like I wasn't even thinking about this doing this type of topic. But when as soon as you brought it up, I was like, oh, oh, ooh, ooh. That's why we had to do Andrea Yates because I couldn't do Mandela effect
And the
and then
Simpsons back
jump
to
over to
back.
the Simpsons. My head probably would have exploded, or I probably would have just said, forget everybody, forget everything. I'm gonna become a recluse and I'm moving to the woods somewhere, deep, deep in Alaska.
Now, believe it or not, we actually had talked about doing two uh, crime mysteries in between to give
Yeah,
ourselves time to recoup from
yeah.
the cluster duck that the Mandela effect put us in, because that one, just the rabbit hole never ended.
Now the thing is, what does that say? That what does that say that we were more willing to do a two true crime stories, murder mysteries back to back, and get away from this stuff, that we were more terrified of doing a Mandela effect and then the Simpsons predictions, and that we just like, no, let's just go ahead and do two murder mysteries instead. Real life stuff. I mean, all of it's real life, because the Mandela effect and everything and all that stuff is, stuff that you're seeing in real life. But we're talking about stuff that, and we've done a couple of pretty horrific murder mysteries, or unsolved cases. We've done some pretty horrific ones to where we were like, I'd rather do that than to have to go through the whole mind maze, the labyrinth, of what's going to happen if we do Mandela effect and then the Simpsons prediction. So that says a lot. So Matt, what is your first Simpsons prediction that you want to talk about?
From what I gathered, there are 43 total
Oh boy.
predictions that have come true. To it, 43.
Wait. So wait, you're saying, okay? You're saying that there's 43 that have come true. Are you saying that there's actually more predictions
Well,
than that?
there's 43 confirmed predictions that are things that have happened in the show that have come true in real life. 43
So
different things in the show.
my head's
But I
already
guess
starting
we
to
can
hurt.
start off with, I guess, number two on my list. Edward Snowden and the NSA spying was predicted 5 years before it happened.
The NSA spy. Oh, okay. You're talking about. Yeah, go ahead and say that again.
The Edward Snowden NSA spying scandal with the U.S. government and listening in on phone calls and things like that was predicted 5 years before it happened in real life.
Okay, so what year did that episode actually come out?
That would have been, let's see, I think it was 2014. I can't be completely sure on that one. I wrote 5 years before. I don't think they gave me a year on that one.
Okay. Um. All right, and repeat that one more time so I can let the people on Facebook Live know exactly what you said.
Oh, Edward Snowden and the NSA spying scandal.
The NSA spying scandal.
with
Okay,
Edward
so
Snowden.
with Edward Snowden. Okay, so those who are watching Facebook Live, I know we can't hear Matt right now, but if you've heard of that, please make sure you put that in the comments, and let us know what your thoughts on that was. Um, but the Edward Snowden NSA spying, or yeah, Snowden. What?
Edward Snowden.
Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden and NSA spying. Okay. I was wanting to say Edward Norton. Um, but yeah, Edward Scissorhands and the NSA spying game. Um, no, definitely not. Okay. Okay. So what was okay, so that one came out, you said, well, you don't know when it came out, but you said it came out about 5 years before
Yeah,
it actually happened.
before it actually happened,
Uh,
yes.
so so do you know? So you're not sure when the episode came out, but do we know 100? Do we know when the actual event actually happened?
I don't have that. I like I said, I wrote 5 years before if I wrote that, then the video didn't give me the years.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, so now that one's a big one, because oh my god, a lot of these we're gonna get into are just ridiculous, in this manner because of the sheer fact that there's no way, no possible way that a TV show should be able to predict the stuff that's going on. Um, and it, oh God. Anyways, whew. Okay, so to you, Matt, why was that? Why was that one that? Why did that one stick out to you the most?
No, I wouldn't say it stuck out to me the most. It was just the first thing that I picked off my list. But to predict something that I guess not predict, because I guess any conspiracy theorists, over the past the communication era could say, the government's been listening to us forever. The government's doing this or the government's doing that. So it's not so far fetched in my mind that they would take a stretch and say that, everybody's or the government's listening on your phone calls and reading your emails and things like that. But for them to come out and put it in an episode to or a public episode that just basically blatant in the face of the NSA saying that they're listening to people's phone calls, and then we have the big scandal 5 years later that comes out, is pretty remarkable.
That is okay. Big Sam, did you ever remember hearing anything about this episode and this? Oh wait, hold on.
Becky put the episode was in 2007.
Okay, so Becky tells us that the episode actually aired in 2007. Okay. So, and if it was 5 years before that, so that came out in what, 2000, no, 14? No, 15,
12.
12, 2012. Yes. Yes. As you can tell, I hate it, math. I'm like, nah, 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 nah. Um, but so it came out in 2012. Now listen, I get what you're saying with that, Matt. As far as any conspiracy theorists, could say that yes, the government's probably been listening to us, for a long time, which they're 100% right. I can tell you that for sure, they're 100% right. But to be able to predict that type, almost down to everything that really almost happened with that, is still mind-boggling to me. It's like who is working for these fools? Is Harry Houdini working for these fools? They got Nostradamus, on the payroll writing scripts. Like I don't understand what's going on here. Okay, so Big Sam, have you heard anything about? Had you heard anything about this one?
Um, I'm not too familiar with it. I know there was that movie that came out, Snowden, when that came out.
Mm.
And I had seen some things around that, but I'm not too awfully familiar with this one, to be honest with you. No.
Okay. All right. What about you, Ace?
I know about the conspiracy, but as far as I really didn't watch The Simpsons once I got past the age of I don't know 18.
Fair
Now
enough.
I'm just throwing a fucking number out there. I don't know how long they've been around. What is like their 27th season or something? Oh, I don't
Sure.
know, but I'd never heard that the Simpsons did an episode that included a NSA conspiracy theory. So this one's new to me.
Yeah, I remember it only because it was honestly it was actually talked about a little bit because around that time I was still when that episode came out I was in the military. Um, when it actually happened, I had just recently gotten out of the military. And so it was one of those things where when it came out I was like, this could be bad. And so it was like, I'm not saying that I was like in the inner circle of I knew everything was going on with all. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I know that we already knew that we had the technology to be able to do stuff like that. Um, Now, would I say that I knew for 100% that that was already going on? That's what was no, heck no. That's not that was way that'd be way above my pay grade. I was just a grunt. And for those who don't know, I was an infantry soldier, so it was just one of those things where it just wasn't one of those things. But to hear to hear that episode or to see that episode and then hear it come out so many years later, it was a little crazy. Okay, Big Sam, Big Sam, let's hear from you. What is an episode that sticks out in your mind of a prediction that came true?
This one I found really interesting. This is from season 10, episode 2 in 1998.
Season 10,
The
episode 2 to 1998.
Yep.
Okay, go for it.
So in this episode, Homer is attempting to become a influential inventor, kind of like Thomas Edison. Um,
I know what you're talking about.
so there's a small part of the episode where Homer's writing out a math equation, um, which a British science writer, Simon Singh, said that the final figure of the equation that he's writing out isn't too far off from the 2012, so 14 years later, CERN Higgs Boson discovery.
Mm-hmm.
He said, this is a quote, if you work it out, you get the mass of a Higgs boson that's only a bit larger than the nanomass of what it actually is. So for people that don't know, I didn't know. I looked it up. The Higgs boson is a fundamental particle associated with the Higgs field, a field that gives mass to other fundamental particles such as electrons, protons, and neutrons, the building blocks of everything, pretty much.
Right.
Um, and basically, it just gives mass to those particles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I thought that one was really interesting because if it's actually not too far off, then you know, like that was a very big kind of discovery in the science world.
Yeah. Now, two things. First, Facebook. Um, what Big Sam was just talking about was the episode or season 10, episode 2, 1998. The episode on the God particle.
Damn it.
And how it came out. What was it roughly? Was it 12 years later or 14? About 14 years later when it came out. Is that what you said, Big Sam?
Yeah, about 15,
14,
1998 to
15.
2012.
So 2012. So about 14, 15 years later, it came out. Now, the explanation that Big Sam gave us, Big Sam, this is what I need you to do for me from here on out. Okay, so I want you to do for me from here on out. And I just lost Big Sam on Riverside. So I don't know if he's still there. Can you still hear me, Big Sam? No, he cannot hear me. So wait, yeah, we kind of, so we lost Big Sam. Hold on a sec. Um, hold on, give me a second here. God bless America. Okay, hold on. And he should be back in now. You there, Big Sam?
Yeah, I'm good. I hit a button when I was
Oh,
shut
so it
down.
was operator error. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as I was saying, Big Sam, the explanation you gave us, which was unbelievably great explanation. But here's what I need you to do from here on out. Anytime you give an explanation like that, I need you to have a pair of reading glasses somewhere near you and throw those on when you give a detailed explanation like that, because that will hit home with the visual effect so much better. I mean, that was spot on. That was great. I thought you were a freaking scientist there for a second. So next time you do an explanation like that, anything that sounds like that, I need you to have some reading glasses ready to go. Okay?
Hey man, not non-prescription. I got
Yeah,
20/20
not prescription.
vision.
You don't have to. No, no, no. I want you messing up
Go
your
ahead,
eyes. Okay?
go ahead and flex that
But I
real
want you
quick.
to have them
20/20
ready.
vision.
Have them sitting on the bridge of your nose. I want you kind of looking up. Because that was great, phenomenal explanation on that. But that is, yeah, that's that. To me, that's pretty wild. And to say it wasn't that far off from the actual equation that they came up with, um, that makes me nervous. It makes me a little nervous because they if they haven't done it already, there's going to be an episode that's going to come up about time travel or something messing with multiverses and all that other stuff. And I like watching Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. I like to watch all that stuff. I honestly don't know if I want that stuff to be true, because I know there's a lot of people that probably don't want it to be true, because that means there's multiple versions of me running around, and that's not good for the universe. All right, Ace, have you given one yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and give yours, and then after you give yours, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Okay, so go ahead and give yours.
All right. The one that I'm going to do is one that is a little bit closer to today.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I'm going to do
I think
is
I have it.
from season 17, episode
Okay.
10, which aired in 2006.
Okay.
That was the year that the prediction, or I'm sorry, that was the year that the episode aired. Last year was when it actually came true.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
The one that I am referring to is the submersible disaster.
Submersible disaster. Yes, that was or season 17, episode 10, which aired in 2006.
Okay. I'll show you how it's done, Sam.
There we go. Now, Sam, take notes. This is how it's supposed to be done.
See? All right. So, last June, a real life submersible carrying 5 passengers towards the sunken Titanic unfortunately imploded. The expedition to see the wreck dominated conversations around the world, and the tragedy has raised crucial questions about the safety regulations and protocols to prevent a similar accident from ever happening again. On the episode, whenever it aired, it had 2 submersibles going side by side. And I'm guessing both of them imploded. Anybody?
I don't know.
Anybody?
I didn't see that episode.
I didn't either. I'm just going off of what I read.
Homer
I
wakes up
think
like a couple days later in the hospital
Oh,
yeah, I
so
was about to
in that
say
one in that episode.
yeah, because I'm looking at the picture of it and I see Homer with the other guy, so I'm assuming the other guy didn't make it and Homer did.
but
Yeah, I
anyway,
don't know.
that one. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's not that one stuck out the most to me. There are several of them throughout this that stick out more than what that one did. That one was just at the top of my list, and like I said, it's the closest to today
Right.
that has actually come true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, which I definitely get that. Um, and like I said, a lot of these, like when we talk about this stuff, especially as we're going along, you don't have to. I mean, you guys are more than welcome to put them in any type of order, or an order you want, or just spout the ones that really stick out to you. Put a star by it or whatever. Um, so far, right now, what you guys have, all the ones you guys have said are the same ones that are on my list. So, we're hitting pretty close to some of the ones that are sticking out, um, and everything. So, yeah, yeah, we're moving right along. Okay, so what I want to do real quick is we're going to take a quick commercial break. For those on Facebook Live, you won't be able to hear this commercial, so you'll just have to look at mine and Ace's beautiful faces until we come back. For everybody else on Riverside.fm, this is the Birdman Show, and we'll be right back after this.
Debbie is an energy drink you mix at home. Debbie is formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and neurotropics, including active neurofactors. No calories, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors. So if you need something to give you the energy to take on the world, Debbie Energy is what you need. Go to debbie.gg, that's DUBBY.gg. Use promo code Birdman Show for 10% off your orders. Tell them the Birdman sent you.
Yo, how we doing? How we doing? Hey, it's the Birdman. You know what it is. Why don't you go ahead and do it with me one time? That's right. It's the Birdman. It's the Birdman Show. I am still rocking and rolling. I've got Ace. I got Big Sam. I got our special guest, Matthew Price, joining us as we talk about the Simpsons predictions over the years and how crazy all this stuff is. Gentlemen, how are we still rocking and rolling? Matt, how are you doing with this so far?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I
Still
think we're
good. Still good
moving
with.
right along.
Yes, we are definitely moving right along. Big Sam, how are you doing?
Thumbs up.
Very good. Yeah. Ace, you still rocking and rolling, all right?
Oh, I'm still here. This is killing me because I know that whenever we're on together, that everybody is hearing an echo. So I'm not able to be my typical self and cut everybody off and talk over everyone. So I'm having to stay muted, and that's all right because you still get to hear me.
Yeah.
While you're talking, you still hear me.
Yes, trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. So for those who are watching on Riverside.fm, we are actually doing a Facebook Live event. So this show is actually going on live on Facebook Live. And hello, Facebook Live. How is everybody doing out there? I hope you're still enjoying yourselves. Um, but before we go any further, I definitely need to make sure we do this. And I want to let everybody know that the Birdman Show is powered by Riverside.fm. the easiest and only way to do a podcast. Well, maybe not the only way, but the only way I'll ever do a podcast again. Riverside has amazing editing tools and an unmatched community of experts that will help you take your podcast to the next level. So if you want to learn more, check out the link in the Tim Birdman Simpson Facebook profile. Take flight with the Birdman and Riverside, and we'll see you in the clouds. Okay, gentlemen, we're still. I'm still trying to wrap my head around some of the stuff with the Simpson predictions. Um, so, uh, okay, let's just keep moving. Because I don't want to I don't want to keep getting wrapped up with this show with this part of the Simpsons and everything. So let's go. And I guess it'll be my turn.
Yeah.
To give one. Let's see. I'm. Oh we. I. It's. Oh boy. Uh. It's hard for me. Okay, I'll go with this one. Now this is one. This is the one that it kind of stuck out to me a little bit. But at the same time, it was one of those ones. It was kind of like okay, but the prediction of smartwatches. Now they're in season 6, episode 19, that aired in 1995. In this classic season 6 episode, The Simpsons, Lisa's wedding that's the title of the actual episode. There were more than a few jokes about future tech, with only one really getting the future right. This episode showed a brief moment where Hugh talks to his watch, predicting the rise of smartwatches almost 2 decades before the first one would actually be introduced into the world. Now that one, yes, and I say yes and no. And the reason why I say that is because I mean, look at like shows like Star Trek, with oh God, I done lost it. William Shatner. You look at like shows like that. They kind of had something like futuristic esque type stuff like that. Um, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it still can. I guess you can still kind of fit that in there. But like I said, I don't know. That's just one that kind of stuck out to me a little bit. It wasn't the major one, like we've all said with some of the ones we've talked about. But it was one that did kind of stick out to me. Ace, what are Ace? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sitting here unmuting and muting and unmuting and muting. So I mean, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
To go along with, I mean, you brought up Lisa's wedding, and this was hell. Let me find it.
It was
Uh,
in 1995.
episode 6 or season 6, episode 19 in 1995.
Yes.
I wrote down the smartwatches. I also wrote down FaceTime. They were both in the same episode. So they predicted that smartwatches were going to be coming out. They're an invention. They were invented. They also
Yes.
uh, advertised that you would be able to FaceTime somebody on your phone.
Yeah.
Apple has the capability of FaceTiming somebody without actually having to call them.
Yeah.
As long as you were on network, you don't have to have cell service, and you can still talk to somebody if you have an Apple device. That's the only good thing about an Apple. Yes, I said something good about an Apple product, but it's
It was inevitable.
I just wanted to throw that out there that there's several of the ones that I have that were in the same episode, and that was one of them.
Mm.
Both of those were introduced in that same episode. So that's my 2 cents. Don't spend it all in one place.
Well, in today's economy, it's not going anywhere. Um, Matt, do you have any comments on that episode?
I wrote technological advances the smartwatch, FaceTime, autocorrect. Like I kind of grouped all those together.
Okay, right.
Or GoPro cameras were predicted in season 5, episode 13. That was another technological advance.
Oh yeah, I forgot
So
about that.
yeah,
Okay.
but there's been
Big
quite
Sam,
a
do you have
few.
anything to add on that? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean cut you off, Matt.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, go ahead and finish your thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of just grouped all the technological advances together as one.
Okay, bet. No, yeah, go ahead and finish your thought. Yeah, I don't like cutting people out, man. My bad. I apologize.
No, you're fine.
Um, yes, I know. That's why I always cut you off. Um, all right, Big Sam, do you have anything to add on to that one?
Not too much. I think I'd kind of agree with you with like the yes and no. I think with other shows like Star Trek and all that other kind of those futuristic type shows,
Yeah,
I feel like things like that have already kind of been predicted.
right. I mean, we were also predicted to have flying cars by now. Um, which technically, if you ride with my mom, you are flying because she has a lead foot.
Now,
Um,
now, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there.
go
If
ahead.
when the time comes that they do invent a flying automobile, I will not give the Simpsons credit for that. That goes to the
Mm,
Jetsons.
that's right. I will 100% give that to the Jetsons. Of course, they had their living quarters that were way up in the sky. Um, so I mean, I always wondered what does actual Earth look like on the Jetsons? Like, is it really that bad that they're all the way up in the clouds like that? Like, I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe that just messes with me a little bit. Um. Okay. Anyways, let's move. Let's move along. Okay. Back. We're rolling back around. Matt, it is your turn. Give us your next Simpson prediction that you want to talk about.
All right, I think the one that kind of messed with me the most was in season 9, episode 1 in 1996. Bart goes to the grocery store or something like that and has a New York magazine for 9 cents, and the Twin Towers are in the background of the magazine, and it says 9/11 on it. Like you can clearly see that it says 9/11.
Oh, okay. Okay, so for Facebook, what Matt's talking about is the episode. What season was that again, Matt? I'm sorry.
Season 9, episode 1 from 1996.
Okay, so season 9, episode 1 from 1996. He's talking about the episode where Bart goes into a grocery store or wherever he's at, and he has a Time magazine. Is that what you said?
It's a New York
Or
magazine.
magazine? Or New York magazine? I'm sorry, New York magazine, and it has a picture of the Twin Towers in the back, and it says 9/11 on it. Yeah, that one would mess with me quite a bit as well, buddy. Um, it's just that one that to me really hits on a whole different level. Um, because of the fact is, like, I can deal with some of these other predictions, and be like, okay, all right, that's cool. I mean, that's crazy. But for that one, especially with it saying 9/11 on it, and then for a tragedy like that to happen, a big one like that, even like the submersible, you know, yes, I can get down with that one only because people are always trying to go in the ocean and do stuff like that. So that's bound to happen. Something like that is bound to happen. But the trade towers, that's not something that was supposed to happen ever. And there's nothing you can actually even think about even preparing for something like that to happen because you just don't think something like that is ever going to be able to happen. So I'm with you, Matt. That one messes with me quite a bit myself, man. Yeah. Ace, what are some of your thoughts on that one?
I seen that one. I didn't put it down because I didn't know. I personally didn't want to be the one to bring that one up. Way to go, Matt. But I to have a cartoon from 1995 have a magazine in one of their episodes that has the Twin Towers on there, that has the date 9/11, and for that to happen 6 years later on the date that was on that magazine, that is that is a bit. I mean, I got chills right now just thinking about that. Like I said, I didn't want to be the one to bring that one up. I was hoping that it wasn't on anybody else's list, but that one's one that's yes, need to be brought on that one, that it was in one of their episodes, but for it to actually be one that came to light, that one is that one's huge.
Yeah, it what I'm not gonna say it wasn't on my list. It was something I was definitely aware of. Um, and I get what you're saying, Ace. But at the same time, um, that one doesn't bother me that. I don't want to say it doesn't bother me that much. A lot of people, you know, and this is what I got to make sure everybody understands. Yes, I was in the military. I served for 10 years in the United States Army. But I came in. I came in after 9/11. 9/11 was not the driving factor for me to join the military. So in that sense, I mean, yes, I definitely, always heart goes out to those who suffered from that, but that wasn't the reason why I joined. My only reason for joining was for my daughter, my oldest daughter, who was a preemie. She needed medical care. I did not have a job that was going to pay for that. And the only option I saw for myself for my daughter was join the military. That was my only driving factor for joining the military. Um, and I love the fact that I did that, not only because of doing that for her, but also because I do believe in my country. Despite all the issues that we have, as a country, I still do believe in the country. I still do believe in the people in this country. Even probably more so than I should. Because we still all have a long way to go, and you're seeing that the apparent um, evidence of that every single day, with still having issues with police brutality, still having issues with racism, still having issues with equality, whatever your gender, whatever your race is, still having issues like that. But we have come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. Um, but that episode, that topic is crazy to me because it hits me on a different level. We lost Matt, but it hit me on a different level, only because of the terrorist implication of it, and the fact that it came out in a cartoon years before it actually happened, and then it happens, and we're not asking more questions. Like, I don't know if the government went to the Simpsons writers and creators and said something to them, or they started asking like, "Hey, wait a minute, now you guys had this on your episode, X amount of years before this actually happened, on the exact same date that you said in your episode was going to happen. We need to have we need to have a little bit more conversations. We need to know what's going on here." I don't know if that happened, or if they didn't care, or if there's a conspiracy theory with that. I don't know. I can't attest to that stuff, but what I do know is that it should there should be a little bit more questions raised, on something that somebody needs to be finding out something, because if they're predicting terrorist attacks, and that stuff is coming true, then I first thing for me, I'm gonna say, hey, Uncle Homer, what's the lottery numbers, um, for next year? That's the first question I'm gonna ask. Then I'm like, okay, now look, now national security. What's the really going on here? Nah, I'm playing. I'm playing. But I'm just saying, those are one of those things. Okay, we got Matt back. He's coming back in. Um, I think we got Matthew back. Hey, Matthew,
My
you're back.
my phone overheated.
Oh, yes, you gotta be careful of that. You gotta be definitely be careful of that. And since you said that, I had to check mine real quick because mine is plugged in while we're
Well,
doing
now the
Facebook
thing is,
Live. I
is
just need to
Matt,
unplug mine for a little bit.
whenever you've got this much heat in one space, it's bound to
Hey,
happen.
dude,
There you go.
we them hot boys over here. You heard? Uh, yeah, Matt. We lost Matt on Riverside. He said his phone overheated. And like I said, we them hot boys over here. So it is what it is, pimping. Um, okay. So Big Sam, why don't you give us another one of yours?
Excuse me. All right. So this one is from season 22, episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
The year's Nobel Prize winners are announced in the elementary school. And you see like a betting pool for like who chose who to win the Nobel Prize in whatever category.
Right.
So there's one, Millhouse. For economics, they put. I'm just gonna say the dude's last name, Holmstrom. It's like Bengt R. Holmstrom.
Right.
So they put him to win the Nobel Peace Prize in economics. He would actually go on to win the award 6 years later in economics.
Mm. Uh-huh. Oh, really? I guess so. I was trying to let him finish, but for everybody on Facebook, this is a regular thing for us. So don't act like don't anybody think that we're actually going at each other. No, this is a regular thing. But for everybody on Facebook Live, what Big Sam was talking about was the winning of the Nobel Peace Prize in economics. There was an actual, and I'm looking at it right now. I should have probably put that on there so I could actually pull it up on. Well, I could pull it up on Facebook Live anyway. So, anyways, there's a betting pool in which Millhouse had he had chose with Holstrom. Look it up. But Millhouse had one of the categories that it had, and one as you see is physics, chemistry, economics. Millhouse had actually uh, had put down this Strom, maybe it's Holstrom, guy, Pastrami. I don't know. That's the guy he chose. Yeah, I did say Pastrami. That's the guy he chose to win the Nobel Peace Prize in economics. And this episode came out. It's called the Elementary School Musical. It was season 22, episode 1. It came out in 2010. And the guy he chose actually ended up winning the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't doesn't say when he actually won it. It was when Oh, 6 years later. So he won in 2016. No, God bless it. 2018. No, because did the episode come out 20? Yeah, it did. Yeah,
2016.
2016. I was right. Woo woo.
10 plus 6.
I thought it said 2012. But anyways, yeah, 2010, it came out, and then he ended up winning it in 2016. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Is it a stretch? I don't know, maybe. I can't really say. Um, so I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. It is a kind of a coinky dinky that happened, or maybe the people who are voting for the Nobel Peace Prize are big fans of the Simpsons, and they're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and give it to that guy. I don't know. Okay, so moving along. Let's see. We're at Ace now, right? All right. So Ace, why don't you regale us with another one of your Simpson predictions? Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything because the simple fact is I wasn't getting an echo. There was not an echo on here. So yes, another operator error on that end. When it comes to and he just dropped off. You just dropped off of Facebook Live. Oh my God! Hurry up! Crying out loud! I'm sorry, Facebook Live. Um, that Ace is messing up on the Facebook Live aspect of things. I apologize. But this is what happens. This is what happens. Okay, when you trying to find good help, and that good help is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. What I gotta send you an invite again?
Yeah, you have to send me an invite again. That's kind of
Okay.
how it works.
All right, all right. Matt Chu,
Really?
you don't still have ability to get
Okay.
on Facebook Live, right?
So I guess
not
now I
right
need.
now.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. So as Ace is getting back into the Facebook Live,
Request. Send request. All right, I just sent a request.
I just sent your request. All right, here we go.
I just.
What in the world?
I
What is
apologize,
the
everybody.
what is
We're,
the
we're
going on here?
trying to figure it out. Okay, fine.
Okay, got you now.
Do you?
I think should be adding you now.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, okay. There you go. All right, now we're back. So, oh, hold on.
He's still not cooperating with me.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right.
All right. Well, here, let's just go ahead and continue. All right,
Yes.
next one I
Please.
have, it's going to be a two-parter because, like I said, both of these happened in the same episode. So, are we ready?
No.
Still an echo. I know there's an echo. We're just going to have to deal with it as long as I'm talking, and I'm talking all the time. So, we know there's an echo. Okay. Margin Chains, Season 4, Episode 21.
Mm-hmm.
This aired in 1993. This one has to do with Murder Hornets, Part 1. In this episode, The Simpsons predicted... During the episode, a crowd of people demanded that they wanted a placebo... shit. Fuck, whatever. Okay, let's go to Part 1 and say the pandemic.
Okay.
We'll start Part 1 with the pandemic because everything that I've got on the other part is feeding off of that. So, the pandemic. The Osaka flu caused a similar pandemic to the COVID-19. The Osaka flu originated from a different country before it made its way to the U.S. In addition, the episode didn't have a treatment immediately available, and the doctor of the episode recommended that the patients get some bed rest Similar to how the scientists were still testing out their vaccine to prevent the COVID-19 virus. Now, part 2. In the same episode as that the Simpsons predicted a pandemic, they also gave clues to another outbreak. During the episode Marge in Chains, a crowd of people demonstrated or demanded that they wanted a placebo to cure their illness. When one of the members of the crowd pointed at a truck that could hold the placebo, the crowd knocked the truck over, releasing a swarm of killer bees. Similar to around the same time as the COVID-19 outbreak, there were reports of the Asian giant hornet appearing in the U.S., a type of killer bee. The Asian giant hornet was claimed to be a threat to the bee population and was reported that they could destroy an entire bee colony. Now, those are two huge events in our lives that impacted our lives in a negative way. One, 2020. Well, 2019 into 2020, we had the COVID-19 outbreak, which disabled an entire nation. Not just us, an entire nation. On top of that, to have the Asian hornet spotted in the United States, I don't know if many people are aware of what the importance of bees are. But if we don't have bees, we don't have cross-pollination. If we don't have cross-pollination, we don't have food.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have cows all day. We'll have chickens all day. We will not have trees. Trees give us oxygen. We will not have plants. We will not have crops. I mean, bees, I'm allergic to them. I kill a motherfucker. I'll kill one if it gets on me. Hi, Alicia. But the bees are an essential part of our existence, because without them, we don't have the essentials that we need to be able to survive.
Right.
So, those, like I said, same episode, it's easier to bring them both out at the same time. Take it away, Birdman.
Those two episodes. Like I said, when I mentioned the whole thing about the 9/11, that was a big one. But the coronavirus episode really bothers me. That one really bothers me. The fact that one came out and then the fact that it actually happened. What bothers me is the fact that in that episode, and if you haven't seen that episode, definitely go check it out. I don't remember the name of that episode. Ace, did you have the name of that episode with the coronavirus?
Yes, it was Marge. Oh, hell. Marge in Chains.
Yeah, Marge in Chains. Okay. Yeah, season 4, episode 21 came out in 1993. Now, what bothers me, if you haven't seen that episode, I haven't seen the full episode, but I did see the clips in which they talked about it. What bothered me about the episode was the fact that it was a corporate room setting, and they were talking about things they can do to affect the economy and affect people. And the one thing that they were talking about, they were throwing out all kinds of ideas. And then one person came out and said, "Well, we do still have the coronavirus in our back pocket," and they named it. They said it by name, coronavirus. They said it by name, It wasn't a different made up virus or anything that came out. They said the coronavirus, and they talked about exactly how it would affect people, how it could affect the. That's what bothered me about it, was how they talked about it, and to me, when you talk about the conspiracy theory, like Matt and I talked about earlier, we start talking about that, then you start wondering, okay, is this something that's actually really going on? And it's just like I said, it bothered me because it's not out of the realm of possibilities that would actually be something that would actually happen. It would not be something out of the realm of possibilities that that the corporate America or these billion-dollar companies or whatever, whoever's really controlling the economy, would say, let's do this because then we can get all this. Listen, because I'm going to break off this for a little bit to kind of keep with this, but it's going to be a little bit off subject. That's the reason why I talk about cancer. When you talk about all these different things, the common cold, the flu, those are billion-dollar industries because of the pharmaceutical companies. Why would they actually come up with a cure for this stuff if that's going to be the one thing that kind of drives them up? Because that's the one thing that you can get year round. The flu is the one thing you get year round. A common cold is something you get year round. They have the medication for that stuff, and the prices for the medications continue to go up. If you got insurance and you're paying for that medication, that's constantly going up, to the point where people are having problem paying for their medications. So, like, to me, like I said, it's one of those things that episode, above all, most of these episodes, for me, that's my number one episode that bothers me the most. Not just because it's a crazy prediction, because to me, I think that one rings more truth in it than it does just a crazy whim that they came up with something and then all of a sudden it just happened to come true. That to me says more truth than anything. So I honestly, at anything, I know we're talking this is a fun episode. I honestly encourage everybody to actually go look up that episode. It's Margin Chains, season 4, episode 21, which came out in 1993. I encourage you to actually go look that episode up and watch it. And then ask yourself, when it comes to the economy and how things have been and how things went when the coronavirus actually came out, ask yourself how on spot is that episode? And I'm telling you right now, you're going to be very, very shocked. Some might be shocked. It might reconfirm what you already thought. You'll be kind of amazed at how accurate that episode truly is. And that's like I said, that episode bothers me about the most about it. Okay, hey gentlemen, this is what we're gonna do. Facebook Live. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take another quick commercial break. Like I said, Facebook Live, you're not gonna be able to see this or hear it. Whether you're not gonna be able to hear it. So just keep looking at mine and Ace's lovely faces as we bask in it. Um, just, just we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more of the Birdman Show. Hey, it's the Birdman here, and I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? If so, have you heard about Spotify for podcasters and why it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place? Allow me to explain. Spotify for podcasters has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone, tablet, or computer. And when hosting on Spotify for podcasters, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. It's really everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And the best thing about it, it's totally free. So what are you waiting for? Go to podcasters.spotify.com to get started. And just tell them a little birdie told you. A Birdman, that is. What's poppin'? Hey, yo, what's up? It's the Birdman. We're still here on the Birdman Show. Go ahead, do it with me one time. That's right. That's right. You want to know what's popping? I'm gonna tell you what's popping. The Birdman Show's popping. That's what's popping. I'm here with Ace. I'm here with Big Sam, and we are rocking and rolling with our special guest, Matthew Price, is in the house. Or like what we like to affectionately call him, Matthew. And God bless you as well. But Oh, guys, how are we doing so far, Matt? I know this is your first time actually being on the show, but you had an opportunity to be kind of behind the scenes and popping in here and in and out when your wife Britt was on the show when we did the Mandela Effect. But how is it so far with you actually being on air with us doing the show?
I think it's fun. Like I've been having a good time. Like,
Sorry,
did you peek in?
I saw that, Britt.
I didn't do nothing.
Crazy Christmas. Let the man work, for crying out loud, woman.
No, but it's been really good. Like I can't wait. I really can't wait for like this. The Simpsons one is a good warm up for me for the JFK and presidential assassination one because that's the one I'm really
Yes.
excited about.
Yes, I am very excited about that one as well. Real quick to our Facebook Live fam. I know I just seen Cheryl just said she's going to Riverside. Listen, I love doing the Facebook Live. There's things you do miss when we do the Facebook Live that you don't get a chance to get to see on the Riverside. Like I said, once I get everything set up and I'm able to do the Facebook Live properly along with the Riverside, it's definitely gonna be a lot better. But at the same time, we definitely want to give people opportunity to see this episode as much as possible, get us out there. But like I said, if you want to watch the full episode, all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel at Birdman Show Podcast 9643 to catch the full episode. And that's the video version. For the audio version, just go to our Spotify channel. Just look up Birdman Podcast. Okay, not Birdman Show. Don't do that because that's my old profile. And like I said before, they haven't deleted it. Don't know why. Whatever. But make sure you go to the Birdman Podcast for the full audio versions of the show. And if you want to be on Riverside, live studio audience member, go to riverside.fm/studio/Birdman's hyphen studio. Okay, to become part of the hyphen dash whatever part country you're from, tomato, whatever. It is what it is. Just matter of fact, just go to my link. Just go to my profile, my Tim Birdman Simpson profile, and you'll see the link for the Riverside live studio audience. Yeah. What are you pointing at, Ace? What? Unmute
A
yourself.
minus sign.
I'm about to minus you. um Okay, so we have been talking about the Simpsons predictions. No, we're not talking about my family predictions. But we are talking about my distant cousins, the Simpsons cartoon. We're talking about their predictions over the years. We've had some crazy ones, some that really truly do bring some controversy into them. So they're really interesting. Trying to figure out some of the things that are going on with this show. I am going to talk. There's one I want to kind of talk about. And was one that kind of it was kind of funny to me, but at the same time it was just weird. And that's and we're gonna go to season 23, episode 22, which came out in 2012. And that was Lisa Goes Gaga. And that's referring to the Lady Gaga and the Super Bowl performance, halftime performance that she performed. Now it's crazy because now there's been quite a few episodes that dealt with the Simpsons and the NFL. They had predicted the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. I believe it was the 1990. it was either 1993, the year they won in 1993, or the year they won in 1995. They predicted that one. They predicted the Redskins winning the Super Bowl when they won the Super Bowl, and they predicted one of the Super Bowl championships that the Patriots got. Um, so they seem to have a thing with the NFL. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I don't know. But in this episode, it included an infamous prediction that the musical artist's performance, which would not so surprisingly come to pass, in 2012, the episode Lisa Goes Gaga, Lady Gaga visits Springfield and performs her songs while flying over an audience, and at one point play the piano during the concert. This episode may have been critically uh, panned, but fans were at least interested in the prediction it contained. Now, the crazy thing about it is the stuff you saw in that episode was a lot of the stuff that happened in her performance in the Super Bowl. Now, in this one, I thought this was just a fun one to do. The reason why I can say that is because we're talking about Lady Gaga. It is not out of the realm of possibility that she watched that episode and was like, if I do a Super Bowl, I think I will do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not like one of those things where she just probably wasn't, I'm not saying she does watch the show, and I'm not saying she doesn't watch the show. But that episode came out in 2012. She performed in 2017. And she performed at the Super Bowl halftime, performing her greatest hits, including Poker Face and Bad Romance. Now, during the halftime show performance, Gaga was lifted above the audience, mirroring the Simpsons episode. Later in the show, she also played Million Reasons on the piano. So, like I said, it was mirroring the exact same thing that happened in the episode of The Simpsons. So, like I said, with it being Lady Gaga, I, I can't sit there and say that, saying it's either her herself or somebody on her team might have said, "Hey, let's do this episode." Like, to me, if they did that, you're just lazy, and you didn't come up with your own good idea. You decided to use something out of cart. So, I mean, Lady Gaga, if your team
Be
did
a
that,
little bit more original. Come
yeah,
on.
I mean, I've lost a little bit of respect for you, the little bit I had, which wasn't much. Um, I did gain some respect for her in A Star Was Born. I thought she did an excellent job in that movie. That was a lovely movie with her and Bradley Cooper. That was a great movie. Yeah, I gained a lot of respect for her then, but then I watched Poker Face video and I was like, okay, it's gone. Anyways, so um, let's tackle this real quick. Okay, so when we talk about, and I know you guys have heard some of the Super Bowl predictions, as far as like the Cowboys, the Redskins, probably the Patriots, and this halftime performance from Lady Gaga. Um, what are some of your guys' feelings on those? Let's start with Big Sam. Do you have any comments on those when it comes to Simpsons and like the NFL in general?
I don't know, man. Maybe not with that one in particular. For like the NFL as a whole, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff about how it's rigged and this and that.
Uh-huh.
And as like a former athlete myself, as someone that likes to compete, like I can't imagine that stuff like that could actually be rigged. Um, so I don't know, man. I don't really have that many thoughts about it. I don't think the NFL's rigged. I don't think sports are rigged. So
Well, I
that's really
wouldn't.
all I got.
I don't want to say that sports in general are rigged, but with the introduction of betting, and it being legalized and able to do, I, I am not going to sit here and say that could somebody who can influence a game like a ref or a player, um, could they I'm not going to say that because that's been going on in sports almost as long as sports has been around. To where players themselves have either taken whether you're talking about boxing or you're talking about baseball, football, basketball, where they've shaved points. Boxers taking dives to cover bets and stuff like that. So I'm not going to say it's not. I'm not going to say it's not possible. Maybe the NFL as an entity maybe not be doing all this stuff and rigging certain things. But I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna sit there and put and say that every athlete or every official is a freaking saint because that's just not happening.
Well, no, yeah.
I'm not even about to come close to saying something like that. But
No, I
some of
mean
these
it
refs,
definitely happens.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
thing that happens. But I think like to your point, and just a real quick point, I don't want to get too off track. But like with the introduction of like betting, I think stat keepers are just held to a much more strict standard now with it.
mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of like my take with it. I think there are a lot, there are a lot more things that are being tracked a lot harder, a lot more like precise, kind of, I guess. So that's just kind of my counterpoint to that. But I don't
Okay,
want to get into it too much.
so I know we're not gonna try to get into it, but when talking about that, in your opinion, what you're trying to basically say is not the fact that you know because I kind of get what you're saying as far as the people keeping stats and stuff like that. To me, I think that's a little harder to really do to kind of rig something because the thing is everything is on video. So even if and that's like you can know this almost better than anybody here. Even when on the team that I coach with the 66ers, even when I have somebody who's keeping stats, I still go back after that game and I watch the game and I restat everything myself. Just because there can be some human error. Because unfortunately, sometimes you get people who are statting these games and stuff. They forget not to be a fan, and they forget that they have to be an employee at that point in time. I mean, you don't cheer. I mean, you're not there yelling or doing all this other stuff. You have to make sure you're doing your job, keeping the stats, make sure everything's done, and that way everything's official. So, in that sense, on this level that we are on, you have to worry about that. On the professional level, you usually don't run into that because those people they're, number one, they're getting paid pretty good money. Um, that's number one. Number two, they know that 100% they've got to make sure these stats are correct. And even if they're not, somebody can always go back at the film and they can stat everything correctly. But to my point, and I think, I know here's what you said. You also agree with this fact that players, officials are two completely different things. And when it comes to these games, I 100% believe there are some players. I'm not saying all of them, but there might be some. There probably are some players that are point shaving. I'm pretty sure there are players that are not performing the way they should be performing because they are betting. I hate saying it, and I'm not gonna say the whole. I'm not saying the whole entire league's doing it. Whatever league we're talking about, but I honestly think they're I think it's going on. So it is what it is. One of those things. You got something else for that?
Did you see the Eagles tackling? Yeah, it looked like they were shaving points.
No, they were shaving practice time. That's Eagles weren't shaving points. They were shaving practice time. They shaved probably some players they probably should have kept. Um. Okay, so what were some of your thoughts on that, Ace? If you had any thoughts on that.
The NFL's rigged. It's scripted. I've seen videos over the past couple of days of where people have. God dang. Let me turn the volume down on this a little bit. Wow. Okay, but
Yeah.
I've seen some videos over the last couple of days where it has actually shown where somebody made a glitch, oops, that it was a radio or a TV station out of Canada was doing a newscast, and it's got a post, an advertisement on there saying that Reba McEntire, Post Malone, and Usher are going to be performing at the halftime of the 49ers and Ravens game.
Ravens.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
And then I seen another one where it's it was a Doritos or Lay's commercial that's supposed to be aired during the halftime show of the Super Bowl that shows confetti flying up in the sky that's red and yellow, predicting that it's going to be a 49ers victory in this Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, somebody getting fired from Doritos.
Yeah, the colors are pre-planned too for at least for the last 3 Super Bowls. This Super Bowl, the colors of the logo are purple and red. Last year's were green and red. The years before were yellow and orange. Yellow and orange, the Bengals and the Rams. Last year, green and red, Chiefs and Eagles. This year, purple and red. Well, there's no other purple team playing right now except for the Ravens. And if the Ravens are going, then, well, the Lions are blue. So to go with the prediction, it would have to be the 49ers. But to get back on track, Simpsons and the NFL. I got nothing. It's going to be a Chiefs and Lions Super Bowl.
Chiefs and Lions Super Bowl is what you're going with. Okay. All right. Matt, we are back around to you. Give us another one of your Simpson predictions. Matt, you gotta unmute yourself.
She's laughing at me. No, I think we'll go with the Statue of David censorship 26 years before it was censored. And
okay. That's definitely a good one.
What is it?
Don't worry about Ace. You
the censorship of the Statue of David.
I'm messing with you, Matt. That was the one I was going to come up with next. But you're good.
Worry,
you're
he
good.
does it all.
What is it?
He does it all the time. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh.
and they censored it.
You go right ahead, Matthew.
But they did it.
They put pants on the Statue of David.
Well, I asked if it was hanging out.
It used to be.
It used to be. But the Simpsons proved that 26 years before they actually censored it, I believe, in 2017. I believe that's the year that I heard. I could be wrong.
16.
16. So if you go 26 years before that, that's when the episode came out.
And the thing of it is there was a principal. I don't remember what town it was in Florida, but there was a principal in Florida that was trying to get the Statue of David. I guess there's like a cathedral down there that has the mock-up statue of him there. Tried to get that statue censored as well. And somebody from Rome actually took that principal and flew them to Rome to take a tour of the garden that the Statue of David is actually in, to give her a better perspective of what it was that she was trying to censor.
Okay, here's my take on all that. Okay, when it comes to art, and this is kind of this is going to kind of be going away from the Simpsons a little bit. We're talking about the whole thing about art. If that's something that bothers you, just like with everything else, don't freaking go to see it.
Boom.
Like the Statue of David, and I guarantee you, I don't know how old these people were, or whoever this was that was wanting to censor it and all that stuff, had been around way before they were born, well before they came into adulthood, where they can sit there and start complaining about it. Don't freaking go. If you don't like art like that, don't go. Don't love art, because real artists, especially if you're talking about during the time when the Statue of David came around, that's what a lot of the sculptures and paintings were about. That's what they show. That's what they depict. That's what it's all about. If you don't like it, don't go. Just like if you're going to be so sensitive and you can't take a joke, don't go to a comedy show. If you can't take somebody making jokes about something because you're all sensitive, okay, and you want to be on wham with a baby finish, pam, shut up. Go home. Go watch a Disney movie, for crying out loud. Shut up. Stop being so freaking sensitive, for crying out loud. And what gets it, I'm sorry, I don't mean to get on soapbox, but what gets me when it comes to stuff like that, people are so sensitive and they want to try to so-called censor or cancel people for doing stuff that they've been going on for years. We're so quick to cancel people about that stuff, but we're not so quick to shut somebody up when we're talking about racism. When we're talking about violence against women, men's health. We're so quick to try to censor. We're so quick to try to censor everybody else, but we're not censoring that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but this is what happens. Facebook. You
I'm
gotta
gonna knock
understand something.
you
This is
off
what
your
happens with me
soapbox for a
sometimes.
second. I'm gonna
This is
knock
what
you
happens
off your
sometimes. You get me on a
soapbox.
smooth. I'm sorry. Let me. Go ahead.
Brittany, Brittany, what is the 16th chapel? I know what the 16th chapel is. What is the 16th? Were there 15 chapels before that one?
Yes. So that's the 16th. The other ones had to have renovations. They had to have renovations 16 times. So that's
My wife, ladies and gentlemen.
um Ace, I hope you know that you're actually muted on Riverside that whole time you were talking. I know, but if you're talking and you're now the people on Riverside have no idea what you just said. No, they probably would have. But the thing was, we stopped talking because you were talking.
Well, then I'll just
That
go
was
ahead
the
and
whole
unmute
point.
myself so that I can just say it to everybody.
Lord, baby, Jesus, oh, give me strength.
All right.
Um,
We have 15 minutes.
yes, we do.
15 minutes.
Okay, so who? Okay, that was Matt, right? No, yeah, it was Matt that went. Okay, so Big Sam, give us another one. I guess did Matt get in trouble or something? Did he? Oh, Matt's having phone complications.
He's have the clock app came in and booted him for violating community guidelines.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know if Britt had made him go to stand in the corner or something. He's like, "You've been on here too long. Go sit in the corner."
So does that mean that he gets your phone now, Britt?
Yes, Alicia. I do agree. We do need it. We do need to fix that. Um,
All right. we need to be quiet because you did say for Big Sam to bring us with another one.
Yes, I did. Sorry, we're bouncing back and forth. Go ahead, Big Sam.
I didn't even hear you. My headphones died. So yeah. All right. This one is a more lighthearted one. Since y'all getting on your soapbox and all that other stuff. Don Mattingly.
Oh God, yeah.
Season 3, episode 16 in 1992. It was an episode Homer had a softball team. He was playing on a softball team. They had a particular bat that they thought was causing them to have good luck. Mr. Buns hired some MLB players to play against them to make sure that Homer's team lost. One of the players was Don Mattingly, who got benched because he had unruly sideburns. This was in the episode.
Yeah.
A year later, during an actual game in 1993, Yankees manager Stump Merrill points out that Mattingly did not cut his hair for the game, which led him to getting benched in an actual game. So it's a funny one because it was the exact same scenario that played out from the episode to real life, and it was the one time that Mattingly actually appeared on The Simpsons.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay, so those on Facebook, Big Sam had just brought up the episode Homer at Bat, season 3, episode 16, aired in 1922, in which Don Mattingly appeared on The Simpsons, and he got into trouble because of his hair cut or hairstyle. Mr. Burns said he had unruly sideburns, which made him shave his head or his hair. What? 1922. What are you talking about? I'm sorry. I got comments on Riverside. 1922.
1922 what?
I said 1992. Listen, Cheryl. 1992. It said season 3, episode 16, 1992. Who just asked that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah. And for those who are on Facebook, Facebook Live, you're kind of starting to listen. I love being able to do the Facebook Live. It is so much better when everybody's able to actually join the Riverside live studio audience, because of all the other stuff. Because you can hear everybody, you see everybody. So as much as I do like you doing the Facebook Live, and I'll continue to do it if you know that works and for everybody. But I'm telling you, the experience that you get being on the Riverside Live studio audience, being able to get in with the comments, we're able to interact with the audience members and everything. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, trust me, it's a lot of fun. Okay. Ace, did you have any comments towards that as we're still waiting on Matt to get back in? Oh wait, here comes Matt.
No, I don't. That was actually hey Britt, how you doing?
Okay. So this brings us to our next episode. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, so Matt, thank you for joining. Now the cool thing about it is, Matt, we see your name here, but when we do the video, your names don't the name doesn't show up anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it did throw me off a little bit when I saw Brittany's name pop up. I'm like, what? Like she did not, man. Not only she put that man time out, but she said he couldn't come back on. She gonna take over the rest of the show. No, you just sit there and you watch.
That's what you call a controlling spouse.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
on
it
the
is what it
next
is. It is.
episode of the Maury Povich Show.
I think that next episode we're gonna have to do men's mental health. Okay. Anyways, we might have to do that one. Good God, I'm just playing with you, Matt. Okay, so are you good to go now, bud?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Matt, blink twice if you're in trouble.
I'm not in trouble.
Matt,
Blink twice if you're in trouble.
what?
What happened to your? He's like,
You're all wide eyed, but I don't see no bushy tail, and we can't hear a word you're saying.
is your audio hooked up?
Me?
Well, it
I'll
comes
tell
with
you
the
real quick.
phone.
You're muted. Hold
No,
on. It's turned up.
And now he's froze. He's gonna bounce again.
yeah, I think.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, we're having a little issue there with Matt. Hey, just whenever you're able to jump in, jump in.
It is blink.
I know what the problem is. You're having a problem either with your Wi-Fi or your network itself. Because you're way behind on us. Can you is your audio working now?
Can you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, just keep working on it. You're good. Don't worry about it, my
Just
man.
go off.
Okay, so
They only got 8 minutes.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
But this
Okay,
was
because
your
we're at roughly
one of your
about
talks, and I
8
wanted
minutes
you to be there for it.
until 8
Like
o'clock.
I got my phone up to 68%.
We are definitely going to end up having to come back
it kills
for an episode 2 or part 2 of this, because there's just no way in the world we're going to be able to really fully be able to tackle all this. And we just lost Matt again. So okay. So there's just no way we're gonna be able to do this. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do first. To my Facebook fam, everybody watching us on Facebook Live, I really enjoyed having you guys here on Facebook Live. I really appreciate everything. But I do encourage you to join the Riverside.fm live studio audience. I'm telling you, it's a more interesting experience. Like I said, I try to make it more available as much as possible. That's why I was doing the Facebook Live event. But
I wouldn't say that it's a better experience on the Riverside app, because over here, I mean, you get to see the two of us, and it's just, But on the Riverside app, you got Big Sam over here. He's single. I mean, come get you some of that big buff over there.
Yo, why are you trying to pimp out my co-host?
Because we're bored.
Hey, always got blonde and big booty.
As long as you're blonde and got a big booty. Wait.
Oh man, you trying to pimp out the co-host, man? Hey, this is a family show. We ain't doing that here.
At least 38 years old.
She gotta have a career. Sugar mama.
And got to have a career. Okay.
Oh, okay. So she got to take care of you. Okay.
I mean, if she,
but you do get a better experience over here, like Birdman was saying, because you don't have to worry about us trying to paraphrase what they're saying.
Yeah.
I know that's where you was going. I just wanted to talk.
Yeah, because it kind of feels like I'm doing like audiobooks or something. Or it's commentating for a sporting event or something like that. But yes, I do encourage you guys to please try out the Riverside live studio audience. And once again, always go to riverside.fm/studio / Birdman's. That's Birdman with the S at the end, hyphen dash, whatever you want to say, studio, minus sign. Who cares? Just put the stupid dash, as long as it's not an underscore. Everybody knows what an underscore is. The opposite of the underscore. put that there and join us on that. Like I said, every time we do this, I always post a video or post some type of post on my Facebook page that will have talk about next week's episode and everything like that. But if you want to catch the full episode of this one, not a problem. All you got to do is go to our YouTube channel at Birdman Show Podcast 9643 to check out the full video episode. And if you want to catch us on the audio episode, all you got to do is go to Spotify, type in the Birdman Podcast, and you can listen to us anywhere. Big Sam, what are you have any closing remarks for our audience before we close out?
No, I got him in a minute ago.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
I said what I had to say a second ago. Ace got me.
Okay. All right. Bet. Sam is he's a man of few words. He's a man of few words because Ace usually dominates all the conversations. I try to get in there just because I'm the host of the show. I'm the main host of the show.
I only dominate the conversation whenever you stop talking.
Okay, bro. Anyways, what are your closing remarks? Oh, wait a minute. Before you say that, do you go to log in? Are you talking about on the Riverside,
Yes.
Christy? Well, okay. So when you click on the link, it's going to ask you to, I think, download the app. You don't have to.
She's already downloaded the app. She's already created herself an account and everything. I've tried to get her into your studio. Whenever she clicks on the link, it takes her to her studio because she says that it's showing her on camera. And the thing of it is I went in and I created myself a dummy account, and I tried to get in on a dummy account, and it wouldn't let me in on my dummy account either.
I don't know because I've used one of my other devices. I've clicked on this link and it's asked me to open up the app, but it's never asked me to do anything else. It actually takes me in the studio as a guest. I mean, as an audience member. Actually, no, I don't think I've did that. I think I've done the guest one. I don't think I've done the audience one yet. I'll have to double check that. I'll try to get with you on that, Christy. If I don't get with you on it, I'll get with you. I'll get with Ace, and he can get with you on it. But as we're doing that, Ace, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your closing remarks.
I really don't have any closing remarks. Surprise, surprise. But I mean, like we do at the end of every episode, whenever the podcast ends, I go live on TikTok, and on Wednesdays we do trivia. So if you guys like to dabble in trivia, come look us up on TikTok. You can find me. My screen name is TLB_ACE. Send me a follow and come join us in trivia. That will be happening in literally less than a minute. So see you there.
Yes. I just definitely want to say thank you to everybody who joined via Facebook Live. I appreciate you guys so very much. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And then, of course, to the Riverside community, to our live studio audience members, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the comments. Thanks you for all the responses and everything. Like I said, you can check us out on our YouTube channel at Birdman Show Podcast 9643 and on Spotify for the audio version of it. You can check us out on Spotify by going to the Birdman Podcast. Every Thursday, we are going live on my TikTok profile, which is, I believe, the Birdman Show. We go live every Thursday, 6 p.m. We do a show recap. We talk about, of course, the previous show, and we also interact with the audience, even ask for show suggestions, different ideas for different topics. So there's plenty of times, plenty of ways you can catch up with us. Also, you can, if you want to support the show, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Birdman Show. Yo, this has been a fun episode. Join us next week, same time. We're going to be doing part two of the Simpsons predictions over the years. For Ace, for Big Sam, for my main man Matt. Hopefully we can get him back on for next episode. We can help him out with this technical problems that we're having. But Matt, you did a wonderful job. Thank you so very much, buddy. He doesn't even charge his phone. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Yeah, pretty much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you next week, next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Riverside .fm. I love you guys. I'm having a brain fart here because these idiots over here. But thank you so much for joining us. Facebook Live, Riverside fam. We out. It's the Birdman.